Hello and a very warm welcome to you. I am so glad you are here with us today. I want you to listen very closely to a story about something that happened just last month. A gentleman, about 63 years old, walked into a local coffee shop. Within just a few seconds of him stepping through the door, three women who were in their 40s all turned their heads to look at him. Now, he was not a famous movie star, and he was not being loud or trying to get attention. There was just something very special and very specific about the way he moved his body, the way he stood tall, and the simple way he existed in that room. What I'm going to share with you today are the exact parts of the body that made those women look at him so quickly, almost without even thinking about it. These are the physical things that women scan for in the blink of an eye, whether they even realize they are doing it or not. Here is a little secret that might change everything you have ever been told about getting older and how people find each other attractive. A very famous and kind expert named Esther Perel has spent many years studying how people feel desire and attraction. Her work shows us something truly beautiful. She has noticed that for women who are more mature, what they find attractive becomes much more detailed and special. It is often much deeper and more meaningful than the simple things young people look for. When it comes to men who are over 60, women are not looking where you might think they are. Many men feel like getting older means they become invisible. They start to think that nobody sees them anymore. They believe that the time for being attractive is over and that only young men with perfect gym bodies or a full head of hair can get attention. This way of thinking is not only sad, but it is actually not true at all. Thinking this way can actually stop you from making wonderful new friends and connections that are waiting for you right now. A group of researchers who shared their work in a special book called the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that what women like changes a lot as they get older. While younger women might look for things that everyone says are pretty, women who are over 35 start looking for what the experts call character indicators. These are little physical signs that tell a story about who the man is on the inside. This is where it gets very exciting. These signs are often found in parts of the body that men completely forget about. They are parts you might think do not matter at all. You might have never even thought about taking better care of them or paying them any mind. Esther Perel often talks about how attraction works on many different levels at the same time. Your brain might tell you one thing, but your body is listening to a whole different set of signals. Women are always picking up little bits of information about men. Their minds are quietly figuring out if a man is healthy, if he is a good person, if he is ready to be a friend, and if he would be a kind partner. The 5 body parts I am going to tell you about are the places where these thoughts happen the fastest. The 4th one on our list is something that most men have stopped caring about entirely. But even so, it is one of the things women look at the most. Once you understand how to change this one thing, it almost feels like having a secret power. Let us talk about these together. Number 1 is your hands. This is often the very first thing a woman notices, and she keeps noticing them all the time. Hands are always being watched, even if she is not doing it on purpose. Our expert friend Esther has said that hands are like a map of how a person shares love and closeness. She says that hands tell a woman everything she needs to know about how a man lives his life. They show how he treats the things he owns, and because of that, they show how he might treat her too. Here is what women are looking for when they see your hands. First, they look at how you take care of them. You do not need to look like a hand model from a magazine, but they should be neat. This means your nails are trimmed and there is no dirt hiding under them. It sounds like such a simple thing, doesn't it? But it is surprising how many men forget to look at their own hands. A big company that makes soap and grooming items found that almost 7 out of every 10 women felt a loss of interest if a man had messy hands when they first met. Second, women watch how your hands move. Are they calm and gentle, or are they shaking and moving around in a nervous way? Do you use your hands to help tell your story when you talk, or do you hide them away in your pockets? How your hands move tells people how you feel on the inside, and women are very good at reading that feeling. Third, and this is quite interesting, Women love to see that your hands can actually do things. They look for a little bit of toughness that comes from working or playing. It shows that these hands have built things, fixed things, or finished projects. There is a reason people say someone is good with his hands in a romantic way. It shows you are capable and can handle life. I spoke with a lady who met a 64-year-old man at a nice dinner. She told me she saw his hands before she saw anything else. She said they looked like they had worked hard, but they were very clean. They stayed still and calm when he was listening, but they moved with a lot of life when he talked about his love for making things out of wood. She said those hands told her that he was a man who cared about the small details and took care of the things he loved. For men over 60, taking care of your hands is very easy, but so many people forget to do it. Just using a little bit of lotion to keep your skin from getting too dry makes a big difference. Keeping your nails neat is important too. But most of all, just be aware of how you move them. Try to move with a calm and steady purpose. This makes you look very sure of yourself. Moving too fast or in a jumpy way can make you look worried, no matter what words are coming out of your mouth. A wise man named Dr. David Given, who studies how people talk without words, found that the way we show our hands is one of the strongest ways we attract others. Women are naturally built to notice hands because they tell so much about a man's health and his heart. Speaking of things that show who you are, this next part might really surprise you. Number 2 is your forearms. This one always makes men say, "Really? My forearms?" Yes, it is true, and there is a lot of science to explain why. When women were asked to pick which parts of a man they liked the most, forearms were very high on the list. Sometimes they were even higher than a man's chest or his stomach muscles. For men over 60, this is very important. Here is why forearms matter so much. They are one of the only parts of your body that people see all the time when you are just living your life. Your upper arms might be under a shirt and your chest is covered up, but your forearms come out whenever you roll up your sleeves or reach for something. Esther talks about how attraction can happen in small moments. She calls these micro-exposures. It is like a little peek into who someone is. When a man rolls up his sleeves and you see his forearm, it is a tiny moment of being close without being too much. The reason this works is very simple. Forearms show that a man is strong and can do physical work. Those muscles are the ones used for holding on to things, lifting heavy boxes, and staying in control. They show that a man can take care of business and handle the real world. A friend of mine who is in her 50s told me a story about a man who came to fix her kitchen. She said he looked like a very normal man. He was not too tall or too short, and he had gray hair. But when he rolled up his sleeves to start working, she felt something change. His arms looked strong and like they knew exactly what to do. Suddenly, she found him much more interesting. She laughed and said she didn't even know she liked forearms until she saw his. For men who are over 60, this is actually great news. Years of working and doing things create a kind of look in your arms that a gym cannot easily copy. The secret is just to keep them moving and keep your skin healthy. Drinking enough water helps your skin look good. You can also do simple exercises to keep your grip strong. And most importantly, do not be afraid to show them. Men who always wear long sleeves are hiding something that women actually really like to see. Now, we need to talk about something that is a little more quiet but very powerful. Number 3 is your eyes and the skin around them. This is where we move from just looking at muscles to looking at the soul. Everyone knows eyes are important, but women over 35 are looking for something very specific. Esther Perel has written a lot about something she calls the gaze of presence. This basically means the way your eyes show that you are truly there in the moment. It shows if you are really listening or if your mind is somewhere else. She says that as we get older, we get much better at seeing this in others. For a man over 60, his eyes tell the story of his whole life. The little lines at the corners of your eyes, which some people call crow's feet, are actually a very good thing. Scientists at a university in Canada found that people with these smile lines are seen as more honest, more kind, and more trustworthy. It shows that you have spent your life laughing and enjoying the sunshine. This looks very attractive when you also look someone right in the eye. Women are looking for three things here. First, they want to see if you are paying attention. When you look at her, do you feel like you are really seeing her, or are you looking past her? You cannot fake this for very long. Second, they look for feeling. Do your eyes change when you talk about things you love? Do they get bright or soft? Women can tell if you are open with your feelings by looking at your eyes more than almost anything else. Third, they look for health. Clear and bright eyes show that you have energy and are doing well. I talked to a lady who met her partner when she was 58 and he was 62. She said the very first thing she noticed was his eyes. She didn't even remember what color they were, but she remembered how it felt when he looked at her. She felt like she was the most interesting person in the room because of the way he focused on her. You can help your eyes by getting good sleep and drinking plenty of water. But the most important thing is a habit. Practice being truly there when you talk to someone. Put your phone away. Stop the noisy thoughts in your head and just listen. This is something you can practice, and it shows up in your eyes immediately. Now I have to tell you about the part that most men have just stopped thinking about. Number 4 is your shoulders and how you stand. As I said before, many men over 60 have given up on this. But women are looking at it all the time. The way you carry yourself through a room tells a story. This might be a little hard to hear, but how you stand is the fastest way a woman decides who you are. She decides if you are confident or worried, if you are full of life or slowing down. These choices are made in less than 2 seconds just by looking at your posture. Esther says that how you stand is part of your energy. She says that attraction likes energy. A man can be very handsome, but if he stands like he is hiding, he won't be very attractive. But a normal-looking man who stands tall can be very exciting to be around. Research proves this is true. A study found that standing in a way that takes up a little more space makes you much more attractive than what you are wearing or even how your face looks. People like others who look open and sure of themselves. For men over 60, posture often gets worse because of years of sitting at a desk or just thinking it doesn't matter anymore. But it matters more now than ever. At 60, how you stand is a choice. It shows if you are giving up or if you are still full of life. Your shoulders are the main point. If they are rolled forward, it looks like you are trying to protect yourself or like you have given up. If they are pulled back and relaxed, it shows you are open and ready for the world. A lady in her 60s told me about a school reunion. She saw 2 men who were the same age and looked similar. One man walked in with his shoulders hunched over and his head down. The other man walked in with his shoulders back and his chin up. She said it was funny because the man with the bad posture looked 20 years older than the other man, even though they were the same age. You can change this right now. Just be aware of where your shoulders are and pull them back a little. You can also do simple exercises to make your back and your middle stronger. This is one of the best things you can do for yourself. You are in control of how you stand, and it makes a huge difference in how people see you. Finally, there is one last part that brings it all together. Number 5 is your mouth and how it moves. This is about more than just your smile, though smiling is very important. It is about your lips, your teeth, and how your mouth moves when you talk. Esther says the mouth is the center of how we talk and how we feel close to someone. Women are often looking at a man's mouth to see not just what he says, but how he says it. Let us look at what women are seeing. First, they see if you take care of your teeth. They do not have to be perfect or super white. Sometimes teeth that look too perfect don't look real. They just need to be clean. A group called the American Dental Association found that most women notice a man's teeth first. For older people, this was even more true. Second, they look at your smile. Is it a real smile that goes all the way to your eyes? A real smile is one of the most beautiful things a person can do. Women are very good at telling a real smile from one that is just for show. Third, they look at how your mouth moves when you speak. Do you speak clearly, Or do you mumble? Being clear shows you are confident. An expert on speaking told me that women actually watch a man's mouth while he talks to help them understand him better. This is why seeing someone's face on a video call feels much better than just hearing them on the phone. For men who are a bit older, your mouth can show your age in a way that looks really good. Small lines around your mouth from years of talking and laughing show that you have a lot of character. One woman told me she loved her partner's mouth because of how he talked. He was slow and careful with his words, which showed he was thinking. Then he would give a slow, real smile. She said she felt like she could trust him just by watching him speak. To help with this, just keep going to the dentist and keep your breath fresh. Also, practice speaking clearly and letting yourself smile when you feel happy. So, those are the 5 parts. Hands that show you can do things, forearms that show strength, eyes that show you are really listening, shoulders that show you are confident, and a mouth that shows you are a kind and honest person. None of these things require you to spend a lot of money or go to a fancy doctor. They just require you to pay a little bit of attention. They show that you are still full of life. Esther always says that being attractive is about being alive and present. These body parts are just the places where people can see that life inside of you. When you take care of these things, you have a very big advantage. You will be noticed in places where other men your age might be missed. All of these parts are about how you interact with the world. Hands that work, eyes that see, and a mouth that speaks. They tell a story about how you live your life. Women read this story because it tells them more than words ever could. You can choose to show that you are still excited about life. Now, everything we talked about today is about what people see. But being close to someone is also about how you touch and interact. This is why you should really watch the next part about how to give a great hug. A caring group of experts has found that the way you hold someone can really change how they feel about you. You can have the best posture and the best hands, but you also need to know how to connect with someone. That next part will show you the simple ways to hug that make a woman feel safe and happy. It explains how to use physical touch to show your heart and create a real bond almost instantly. It is a very powerful way to use everything we have learned today to make a beautiful connection with someone special.